Thanks for checking out this archived episode of the Ticket Stub. This is Dick, the co-host. My other co-host is too important to do this little announcement, but I'll remind you, if you want to tune in to me and like me, you can tune in every Thursday on the Ticket Stub to hear the better half. And don't forget, our podcast can be subscribed on iTunes, Stitcher, and also Google Play, which you're probably listening to right now, so make sure you subscribe. If you want to reach out to us, you can email us at theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com, and you can find us on Facebook at The Ticket Stub Podcast, and message us during the show or outside the show, whatever. And then there's a YouTube channel where you can watch us. That's right, see my pretty little face and see Connor's ugly little face on YouTube. That's The Ticket Stub. Make sure to tune in every Thursday live, though, because we do have a lot more excitement when we're live. Thanks for checking us out, and I hope you enjoy this show.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Shall we begin?
Welcome, moviegoers, to the Ticket Stub. Connor and Dick here. As always, we're back. We are your beacon of light and truth for all the things you need to know about movies. What's coming out, what's been out, what you need to see, what we've seen. We've got it all. So glad you're here with us. Dick, how you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good. Really good weekend. Ready for a little relax and relax?
R&R.
Rest and relaxation. It's my birthday on Monday, so I'm going to be celebrating this weekend.
Oh,
so.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Do anything special?
No, I'm not letting anyone know, because usually when I let people know, they just show up and ruin my time.
Yeah, they take your time. Also, we got intern producer, whatever else, Jake, here with us again today. Jake, excited. Jake's going to be with us all summer, I believe.
Yeah, all summer. Hi, guys.
Yay!
And then once this show gets syndicated and we start making the big bucks, Jake will be with us full time, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully Dick will finally pay me.
Yeah.
Is this indentured servitude at this point?
I mean, if you really want to know our relationship.
Let's talk about it. I don't care. All right. So anyways, Ticket Stub, glad you're here. We've got some good things coming up today. We do want to go ahead and start the show off by letting you know that next week, we regret to inform you that we will not be releasing a live new content show for you.
It's going to be a replay on the on this channel right now, and then we'll be back the week following, which also, to make it up, last episode on the 25th, we had the GM, Chris Appel, in the studio. Go to the Grand Theater, folks. Check it out. He graciously donated 2 tickets. So we're going to be doing a giveaway. I believe that's on June 16th. Is that 15th?
Yeah.
June 15th, we will be doing a giveaway. We're going to be announcing the rules of the game before the show on our Facebook. So make sure to go to our Facebook, like us, follow us, and then we'll be making a post about it. So
yeah, and
good luck with
this
that.
is 2 voucher tickets to to any movie you want to go see at the Grand. This is a great deal, guys. This is a great opportunity. We've already, a couple weeks ago, we gave away tickets to Taste Fest. They were taken, they were used, they were enjoyed. So we're gonna try to keep having some giveaways for you guys. But it's gonna be an opportunity where you could just pretty easily score. If you're willing to comply with our little game, you could pretty easily get 2 free tickets to the movie, and who doesn't want that?
I wish I could win. Jake, you're not eligible either, man.
Why not?
You're still not getting paid.
Yeah, you can't even get paid in vouchers. You could either take a friend to the movies, or if you don't have any friends, you could just go to 2 separate movies by yourself.
Well, what you do is you devise the plan with your date. Like, hey, I got my ticket already. You get yours.
Ooh, and so
You go Dutch.
Or say, hey, I'll get the tickets, you get the popcorn and drinks. How about that?
Oh, yeah, true.
We'll split it that way. You can get you a
But
free.
that's special thanks to Chris over there at the Grand, north of Conroe, right there. Check it out. They have all the new movies, all the great things. I need to check out that podcast, because it's really cool to hear about what they're doing over there. So we can move on now. We don't have to promote Chris anymore. Sorry, Chris. He's a stubby, so he understands.
Yeah, he'll hear this. But Chris, we appreciate it. So what we're doing today on the show, we're going to hear in just a second, we're going to do a little movie news, talk about a couple of things, or one thing in particular that I've got to talk about coming up in the world of movies. We are going to rewind. Last week we didn't get to that because we had such a compelling interview with Chris. We're going to catch up a little on our rewinds with the movies we've seen. I've seen a couple. Dick's seen like 4, you said, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll see if we get to all 4 of those.
Well, and we also just cut the suspension. We didn't see The Drop because they removed it from HBO Go. So
Yeah.
we have another thing we want to talk about later in the show.
Yeah, so we've got we've got a little
So I
something else.
lost the game. I got to make up for it.
Yeah, we've got another movie, and somehow I've gotten pulled into watching this. I mean, the drop was because I wanted to watch it, but this new one is going to be kind of punishment, and I guess it's my punishment for picking a movie that then was not available streaming. So we'll announce that later
Well,
on.
it's also you probably picked a decent movie. So when you win something, you got to punish the loser.
You really gotta go. So I'm learning School of Hard Knocks here, but
The drop was dropped from HBO.
they dropped it. Yeah, they dropped it from HBO. So also we're gonna do a little Would You Rather with Who Would You Rather Date coming up a little later on in the show.
Just date, right? Is this going to be like marry?
No, this isn't like Kill, Marry, intimate time with. This is gonna be Who
And
Would
Kill.
You Rather. This is Who Would You Rather Date? Who would you rather take on a date?
Is it the character, right, or the
The
actor?
character,
Okay,
not,
good.
not the
Good.
actors. So we're keeping it.
Ollie, if you're
I know it's
listening,
yeah, I know, but I know it's 2017, but
It's all fantasy.
we kept it pretty much females here for us, and then we'll do that. We'll check in with our summer.
Can we do
Blockbusters.
dudes too? Next show?
Next show we'll do which dude would you rather date?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well,
We gotta
my
make it fair.
My last one's a little bit. The last option we've got's a little bit fun, so we'll see how we do
Okay.
there. But anyways, as far as movie news, Dick, Edge of Tomorrow. Did you see that movie?
Live, die, repeat.
Well,
Which one do you want to call it?
Yeah.
What's the official name for it?
So they released it as Edge of Tomorrow, and then when they kind of re-released it and did the DVD release, they changed it to Live, Die, Repeat.
You know what's funny is I honestly thought the production people who produced the DVD or the posters and stuff for the home office one is they just took the tagline and messed up and made that bigger.
Yeah.
I thought that was the tagline, Live, Die, Repeat.
Well, it was the tagline.
And so then I was like, oh, they changed the actual title of the movie.
Because like when they were promoting, and this isn't our news, this is old news, but when they were promoting Edge of Tomorrow in the for the theaters in their trailers, it would say like it would flash live and then it'd cut to a scene and then die and then cut to a scene and then repeat and then cut to a scene, and it was kind of the way they were trying to explain the idea. I guess they felt like Edge of Tomorrow didn't do a good job marketing because I think it didn't do what they wanted in the box office. But now they've got Edge of Tomorrow 2, which they've announced coming out, and I think they're going to call it Edge of Tomorrow 2.
I thought they were going to call it Repeat, Die, and Live.
They just reversed it.
Yeah, I really thought that's what they were going to do, but
so
good thing I didn't put money on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't bet on the name of the movies. But Doug Liman, who directed the first one, he's directing this one as well, and he is calling it a sequel that's a prequel. So I'm curious. I don't know what to really think of that. Like when you hear that, what do you think, Dick? A sequel that's a prequel. Does that sound like Star Wars Episode 1? Like it's a movie that comes out after, but it's before? Or is this going to be like some weird?
Well, I'm interested to see who's in it first.
Yeah, well,
if they announce,
it's got Tom Cruise.
Oh, it does have Tom
and
Cruise.
Emily Blunt, and they're supposedly going to add a third. I don't think they've released who it is yet, but they're going to add a third character who is supposed to be a big.
It's probably The Rock.
Yeah,
Probably The Rock.
if you just be safe and say Dwayne Johnson.
I mean, we're thinking about the plot. To me, the movie was really fun to watch, and that was one of my favorite things you learn as the movie was going. So I don't really want to speculate what this plot's about because it's going to be different, and it's probably going to be based off like a Star Trek episode or something like that. But we're gonna have fun.
Maybe so, but see, I'm confused because if it's a sequel that's a prequel, how can you have a prequel to this? The story felt pretty self-contained, or at least like the start of it felt pretty self-contained. And so I don't really know.
That's probably when the war started.
Maybe it's the start of the. But then Tom Cruise wasn't. I don't know. I feel like his origin of that whole thing. I don't know where you backtrack that because he doesn't know Emily Blunt until the movies. I mean, the movie is where he meets her. So maybe
this is a whole nother scheme of the whole live, die, repeat thing. Because
so.
that's the gimmick in the movie. So if they don't continue the gimmick, what's this movie really going to be about?
That's a good point. So there's got to be some kind of Groundhog Day type scenario, right, where they're redoing the same thing over and over, or they're caught in some loop. With I'm curious about.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not worried about it.
You're not.
I'm not worried about it.
Man, you're so cool and calm and collected right now.
Because I'll enjoy it, but I'm just not worried about it.
But I really liked the first one. I really liked Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. I think it was a great movie. I think it was a movie that surprised a lot of people. I also think it was a movie that didn't get seen by enough people. So hopefully, as this one, I mean, it's not coming out anytime soon. They're just announcing all this stuff right now. But as this movie starts to build, as the hype around it, and I'm glad they gave it a sequel because honestly, I was afraid. I mean, not afraid, but I'm surprised that it did enough business to where they wanted to. But maybe when you attach Tom Cruise to something, you can get a second one made. But I would encourage people to go out.
Look at Jack Reacher. The sequel didn't do too well.
Yeah, it wasn't. The first one was so much better.
There's only a few actors that can pull that off today, like Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise.
He can get like the 9th Pirates made.
Well, he just gets paid. He gets paid a lot of money for flops. If you look at his like past 6 movies, They've flopped.
He mostly makes bad movies.
Yeah.
I don't like Johnny Depp. I feel like he's so overrated. But I guess
it's Johnny Depp though.
But people come to see him.
So
People love him.
He gets the money.
I
want to let people know, and then I want to call out Chris for this, because if you listen to the last podcast, another news is they're still the theaters are still fighting the companies, the producer or the production companies, of doing same day releases. And the Netflix CEO was Reed Hastings was quoted saying that people will still go to the theaters no matter what. So Chris, we're gonna wait for your rebuttal, because he's the one that said that's the only thing he doesn't like about the streaming services. They get access to the valuable first day content.
Maybe we'll have to have Chris either call in or come back in and respond to that. Does he see a world where even if they do same day releases, the theaters will still be able to make their money? And he's saying really the movies should want that too, because he said, I mean, his opinion was that's how the movies are going to make their money as well, because no matter how much Netflix is making, they can't divide that pie so many ways, where one movie could make $150 million in a weekend when they do it.
It's funny. I was thinking about when he said that. I go, well, I think it balances itself out in the end, because people are going to be people, and like, I don't want to leave. I'm still going to pay. They're probably going to charge $50 to watch the same day, because you can have unlimited viewings or unlimited time people there. So you're losing out that $12 amount per person, but for an average family of 4.
Oh, so if it releases same day, like
at home,
you're paying a higher.
You're not going to pay $15.
Oh, okay.
You're probably going to pay $30 to $40.
Oh, see, I didn't know that they were talking about doing different values on it. That makes sense, because otherwise you just have everybody over and watching at your house for $10.
No, especially people who have home theaters, like ridiculously laid out home theaters. Like, hey, everyone come over and we'll watch Repeat, Die, Live. And, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, so that's what's coming out. That's a little bit of what's happening in this ongoing saga with theater versus streaming, and who's going to win, and can they find a way to coexist? Can we all just get along? I got the coexist bumper sticker on my car. I don't really have it, but hopefully there's a world where movie theaters can find a way to adapt, because if they go away, man, that's going to be so sad for me. I don't know what I'll do. Like, for twice a week, I'll just have to go sit in my car for a couple hours and like listen to Enya or something and get centered. But anyways, Edge of Tomorrow 2 is something to look forward to. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to rewind the movies that we have seen in the last week and a half. So stick with us here on the Ticket Stub with Connor and Dick.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? The Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Welcome back to the Ticket Stub, Connor and Dick. Okay, that's like your thing now, and I'm not sure what I feel. Your little like weird noise on there deals.
I'm just letting people know I'm here without saying,
"Hey, this is Dick, yeah, bro." I said you go. That's
welcome back to the Ticket Stub. We're here every Thursday, except next Thursday at noon. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on Google Play and also iTunes and YouTube. And you can catch us on TV pretty soon.
Yeah.
By next week, I think.
By next week.
Yeah,
Channel 12.
Channel 12 on Suddenlink.
Channel 12 on Suddenlink. And the times, we're still working the details out on
That's
the time.
what we're waiting for, is the actual time. So.
Okay. That'd be cool, man. TV stars. First we were radio stars. Now we're TV stars, YouTube stars, podcast stars. It's going to my head pretty quickly. I'm becoming insufferable.
But hopefully people are listening to our rewinds, too.
Yeah.
Because I try to watch a lot of random movies.
Yes, that was one thing Dick had mentioned, and I think it's a good idea, is that we can start kind of pushing our boundaries a little bit to watch different kinds of movies.
Yeah.
Well,
we are.
Well, and we are doing it.
Well, since The Drop was removed from HBO, what movie are we going to be agreeing on watching for our next live show, which is June 15th?
For our next live show,
what are we going to watch?
June 15th, Dick and I will both be watching the instant classic, Me Before You. Now, you're probably saying, what is that movie?
Okay, do me a huge favor, Jake. Pull up Me Before You trailer and boot it up, and we'll play it at the end of this segment.
Okay.
And we'll come back to it. Or we can start at the next segment. I want to play a trailer. Someone actually made a comment to me. They listened to the podcast, like, hey, just play the trailer. Because
like just the audio through
through it, and we'll Me Before You, definitely gonna see before
Okay, we'll do that at the end of the segment. Me before you. In fact, let's not even say much about it. Let's just say it's not the typical movie that Dick or I would probably choose to watch.
Yeah. I have great ideas. It's great.
I have great ideas. I'm a genius. All right, so this is our rewind segment. This is where this is where we look back at the movies that we've watched the last week. Dick, I think you've got one or two more than me. So why don't you start? What was something that you watched?
I'll try to watch the newer movies, but again, I'm restricted to the streaming services due to my time. I watched the 1995 classic Major Payne. I have never seen it, and my girlfriend lost her mind when she found out I've never seen it. And as I was watching it, just to give people a heads up what it is, it's about a recently discharged major finding himself commanding a group of mismatched cadets at a school. And it stars Damon Wayans. He's Major Vincent Payne. That's Payne. And he is a character in the movie. So, at first when I was watching, I was like, oh, he's going to be like Damon Wayans, this really cool guy. But no, Major Payne is a character. And he has a weird dialect. He's just a creepy guy. And one thing that I realized after watching this movie is kids' movies back in the day, in the 90s, got away with a lot more than what they're getting away with today. The language was always walking the line. I like that. And a lot of the kids, you can recognize them from older movies and newer movies, too. I think the Shermanator was in this movie from, what's it called, American Pie. But he's a kid. The Shermanator. But the movie was interesting. It kept me going, so I enjoyed it for a kid's flick. And I can totally understand why people have that as a major favorite as their childhood movie. And so I can finally say I watched Major Payne.
He was kind of a one-liner machine, wasn't he, in that movie? Didn't he have a lot of when he was snapping off at the kids?
Oh yeah, he didn't have any development in the movie at all. He was a killing machine. And there's a classic monologue. There's a classic monologue. It's a little engine that could. You just need to look it up, and it's a classic scene when he's telling a bedtime story about is it Thomas the Train, or is it just a I think it's just a little engine that could. So yeah, it was that was a monologue. So yeah,
there you go. So man, some deep character development.
If you're doing an audition at any free auditions, any monologue, choose that monologue and see what people think.
Probably not the greatest way to get the part, but you would definitely be memorable, right?
But I watched it on HBO. So if you have HBO Go, check it out. It's a fun movie. You can definitely watch in the background, and also remind you if you've seen it when you were 10. So
yeah, this is one I haven't seen since I was a kid, and I have some memories of it, but it would definitely probably be.
Some of the stuff I have major questions about it, even though it's major. But the question I had was the school, because the headmaster did not care about what was going on, and I was like, so are these kids the bad kids, and they got put in the ROTC program, or the school to make money just has an ROTC program and they don't manage it? I didn't really get the idea, because some of the kids were bad, some of the kids were just kids. And because from my understanding, you can correct me, or our listeners too, ROTC is a volunteer after-school program, right?
I think so.
And it's supposed to be a leadership building program in a sense, and they kind of push you towards the military after school. So I didn't really get that at this school and this whole program, because some of these kids, one of them was 6. And I was like, why is this kid in the ROTC program where his parents are dead, and that's what they put him in? He's hanging out with all these 15 to 18-year-olds, and it just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I wish they would explain the whole why is everybody there. They kind of did. Actually, man, they had a big surprise actor who played one of the dads, Michael Ironside, but they did not. They had him in one scene, and he was the drunk dad.
That's funny, because he's the second billed guy on IMDb.
Yeah, and he's in the movie for probably 4 minutes, and it's just a drunk dad scene, and because he comes on Parents' Day, and I was like, oh, cool, Mike and Ironside, man, it's so cool.
And then he's gone.
They didn't follow up. And
did he have a fake arm? Was one of his arms robotic?
Major Payne beat him up, basically. He says don't touch this kid, get out of here, and that's when the kid, finally respected Major Payne.
They finally bonded.
So
man. Yeah, I remember it was a tearjerker, Major Payne, right? You really were choking back the emotions. Oh,
he.
That's yeah. People, if you haven't seen Major Payne and you like, you like comedy, you like kind of a slapstick type movie. I mean, that's what it's pretty slapsticky, right?
I mean, it's a family film, but it's crossing the line. There's a scene when he goes out with the girl, the interest, and they're booty dancing, and the music in the background.
Are they grinding?
I don't explain it. It's just they're pushing the boundaries. So if you're really conservative and you don't want your kids to see really to ask questions that don't watch Major Pain.
It's PG-13, so that maybe in 1995 PG-13 is different than 2017 PG-13 as well. So, all right, cool. Major Pain. Well, the first one I want to talk about for my rewind is a movie called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Oh, you finally saw it.
I did, yeah. So this is a little bit different than Major Pain. 2017. It's a Netflix original release, TVMA. It was an hour and a half, hour 33. Directed by a guy named Macon Blair. He is directorial debut. But he has starred as an actor in. There's a director named Jeremy Saulnier, and he has made movies called Green Room and Blue Ruin and some other movies. But Macon Blair has been the star of those, and so now he's kind of stepped out as a director. The two actress Melanie Linsky, who what I know her from is that HBO show Togetherness, and she's been in some other things, but that's where I've really seen her. And then Elijah Wood, who probably everybody's familiar with. But basically the plot is that Melanie Linsky is a depressed lady. She finds herself just kind of going through the motions with life. Life is dull. One day her house gets burglarized, or whatever you'd say there, while she's inside it. And it kind of shakes her up. But in some strange way, she has this sense that justice must be done. So she kind of becomes a vigilante trying to solve this crime for who was it that burgled her house. Her neighbor is Elijah Wood. And this is probably my favorite Elijah Wood role. And I don't know if that's like really saying a whole lot, but he was awesome. I loved Elijah Wood. He was this, he's little, but he's like this kind of crazy guy, and he's tough, and he like has Chinese stars, and he's always working out, and he's like always trying to fight people, which is such an against type role for him, because normally he's like, I don't know, he plays all different kinds of guys, but I just loved him in this. And Dick, have you seen any of these? Jeremy, have you seen Blue Ruin, or have you seen Green Room specifically? Either of those?
He's an actor.
Who?
I'm just want to make sure we.
That's what I'm saying. Macon Blair is the director of
and
this
the
film.
writer.
But he's been in these Jeremy Saulnier films, and that guy's the director. Of Green Room.
Now I'm understanding.
And Blue Room.
No, I have not seen any of those movies, even though Captain Picard is in Green Room.
He is. And he's a Nazi.
Yeah, like that movie. The synopsis looked pretty creepy. Those movies you gotta be in the right mood for.
Yeah, you need to see Green Room. You need to watch. I think you would like it. But basically, they're very realistic. It usually kind of starts with a slow burn, and by the end, like the gore gets it gets pretty bloody and violent. And I think Macon Blair kind of followed his mentor here, because it definitely was like that. At first, it was kind of funny, lighthearted, a little bit.
The character Elijah Wood is just off the wall.
Yeah,
from looking at the trailer and stuff and reading more about why he chose to do the movie.
Yeah, definitely. And so it kind of starts with this like almost funny feel, like very quirky, very strange. But they're kind of teasing you. Like they're kind of dangling the carrot. And then all at once, something happens. There's a big like switch where, a certain event happens. And from then on out, it kind of becomes like intense and bloody. It's like this one movie for half of it. And then like it catches you off guard. And from then on out, it's like this bloody movie where people are getting killed and people are dying. And it's really intense. And early on, if I'm being honest, I was kind of bored, because it was that one kind of movie. And by the end of it, I was like locked in, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So be warned, it gets graphic, it's violent, all that kind of stuff. But I really enjoyed it. So I Don't Feel at Home. And it's free on Netflix. It's very mature, so keep that in mind. But if you like that kind of stuff, or if that sounds interesting, check it out for sure.
Okay, cool. I mean, I kind of want to check it out just because I'm a fan of Elijah Wood.
You would like him in this.
And so I'm going to check that out. All right. Well, and the next movie I checked out was also on Netflix. Doctor Strange was released, I think, like on Tuesday. Never seen it. Didn't have time to go to the theaters. I'm a big comic book person. Doctor Strange is one of those characters that kind of redefines the world that they all live in the Marvel universe, because it's more of magic instead of superpowers and science and all that kind of stuff and aliens. The movie itself, I think they did a really good job explaining it to the general mass of who Doctor Strange is and how the world works, because I can't imagine writing that movie and going, all right, we're going to have the average Joe try to understand the magic.
Because I didn't know anything about it before I saw this movie.
And so they did a really good job. Unfortunately, they did too good of a job on that and didn't really do a good plot.
No.
It stars everyone, all the women. Benedict Cumberbatch. He's in it. He's the main. He's Doctor Strange, which is great. We have Mads Mikkelsen. Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor. I think he's from Denmark, and he has been in really good movies. Like
Yeah.
he is probably one of the most solid actors I've ever seen in each movie, even foreign films. Like if he's in a movie, you got to see it because he's that solid.
Have you seen that movie, The Hunt, that he's in?
No, I want to though
You
because
need to
that
watch
movie
that.
looked nuts
Yeah,
about the child. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always wanted to read more about him because the roles he chooses are so drastic. And so he's in it. He did okay. Unfortunately, that's one thing I hate about this Marvel world. Like, I want to see more of him. So, but he's the bad guy. So, what are the odds of seeing more of him? Not very good. Other than that, the whole world building of it, it's pretty interesting. I'm excited to see Doctor Strange and the other Marvel worlds, but sadly, right after I finished this movie, I looked it up. I was like, when's the sequel coming out, or when's the next one? They don't plan on doing another one.
Didn't make enough money, probably?
No, they said that there's so much Marvel stuff going on. It's just he's not the most popular Marvel character. So he's probably going to make cameos in the other ones. And
Yeah, he's going to be incorporated in the other series.
Yeah, they did a teaser at the end with Thor. So he's probably going to be in Thor, the new one coming out. But see, his character is so interesting because there's more lore to his, because they use a lot of words that label the magic or the amulets or those kind of things. A little different than the other, Iron Man. Iron Man, you just get the basics and that's it. You don't need to understand the most. But
yeah, what I felt like that from that movie, the plot wasn't that great. I thought it looked really awesome.
Oh yeah,
like this, cinematography or the CGI or whatever they did, and I think it maybe even won an Academy Award for that, or it was up for one. But it looked amazing, and that was what I appreciated the most. I didn't know anything about the storyline, and I learned some about Doctor Strange. To be honest, I was kind of confused a little. Like I feel like it was like there was so much plot to unfurl, and they only had a little bit of time to do it, so they were kind of trying.
Or world building, not really plot.
Yeah, world building, I guess would probably be the better way to say that.
Yeah.
But all in all, that was one. I don't know. Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it to those who want an entertaining movie. I think if you're a diehard fan, you're either gonna hate it or love it. But
if you're like an Avengers completionist, then you should probably watch this one.
I mean, Benedict's really funny in it. He's good, and he has the depth to Doctor Strange, which is good. It's hard to do. Doctor Strange is very similar to Tony Stark, and I guess the world. I mean, and Tilda Swinton's in it for a little bit. She's really creepy looking. She's
always
shaved head and that kind of stuff. Well, one thing who I really like seeing, no one probably knows this, is the Phantom Menace was in it. Scott Adkins played one of the henchmen. I love that guy.
Really?
Yeah, he's in like every action movie ever, and he just plays a henchman in every single one. It's hilarious. So
he's henchman number 2 in every
like almost every movie. But then he was, I want to say I might have been mistaken. He might not have been episode 1. I don't think he was a Phantom Menace. Let me look that up.
Okay.
Because he's a karate dude. He's in all like the C-grade karate movies that I like.
Well, there you go. Well, we're about to go to break, but I did also catch Baywatch this week, so I just want to really briefly talk about Baywatch. I don't want to say too much. Whenever they're in theaters, we don't want to say too much because we want to encourage you to go see them. But Baywatch, it's in theaters now, rated R, directed by Seth Gordon, who did Horrible Bosses, Identity Thief, and he did a documentary called The King of Kong, which is about guys playing arcade games, and it's one I've heard is great that I haven't seen that I want to check out at some point. But it's got Dwayne The Rock Johnson in it. It's got Zac Efron, Alexandra Daddario, Hannibal Buress, the comedian, is in it and is actually pretty decent. And then Rob Hubel, who I think is hilarious, is in it as well as like the boss of the Coast Guard or whatever. Efron is entitled Pretty Boy. He's kind of like Ryan Lochte, Olympic swimmer, Olympic gold medalist. He gets assigned to Baywatch. The Rock is not having it. When they find out some illegal activity is suspected, they have to put their feud aside and find out what's really going on.
I saw this as well. Scale from 1 to 10, what did you think?
First off, you have to rate these movies for what they are. You have to understand what it is. But for what it is, I think it was probably like a 6.5, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, for what they were going for and what they were trying to accomplish, yeah, I think it was probably 6.5, 7.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I feel like, I just hate it when I leave movies and I'm like, I think it could have been better.
Yeah, they could have done more with that final scene, I think. So.
Yeah, it could.
Again, I don't want to give too much away. Go see it. It was worth the $7.25 on a Monday matinee.
Yeah, definitely was worth seeing in theaters. It was a fun movie. There was a lot of funny lines. I did appreciate that the whole time Zac Efron's going, guys, why don't we just call the cops? Like, we are lifeguard. It's kind of like winking at itself a little bit, I thought. So it was good.
Did they remove the fat guy?
No.
All right, good.
No, he was.
Remember that joke they had in the
and he
trailer?
was actually really good in it. I liked him in it.
He was good. He was prominent, and he had a crush on like the fake Pam or new Pam Anderson, and
oh yeah,
man,
yeah,
there was attractive ladies in the movie as well.
Yes,
Well, that's Baywatch.
Yeah, they did a good job of recapturing that.
They did. anyways, I don't want to say too much, but yeah, they winked at the old series a couple times with with some of that stuff. They kind of were taking it lighthearted. It was good, wasn't great, but it's worth seeing if you're looking for a movie to go catch in the theaters.
Cool.
So there we go. All right, we're gonna head to another break. We will be back for our third segment to do the Would You Rather. Which girls would we rather date from famous movie actors or favorite characters? So we'll do that right when we get back here on the Ticket Stub.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
I'm still having nightmares about those giblets.
We've tried beautician.
Turns out hot wax is not my friend.
I'm running out of options for you here, Louisa.
Please, I'll take anything.
And this is new care and companionship for a disabled man.
Do you have any experience of caregiving?
I've never done it, but I'm sure I could learn.
Then let's go meet Will. Will, this is Louisa Clark. Nathan will talk you through Will's routines and equipment.
You don't have to talk across me, Mother. My brain isn't paralyzed. Yet.
Good morning. Oh, he hates me. Every time I speak, he looks at me like I'm stupid. To be fair, you are pretty stupid.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that yet.
Interesting choice of footwear.
What do you mean by that?
That can't be from around here.
Why not?
This is the kind of place people come to when they got tired of actually living.
I'm happy here.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be. You only get one life. It's actually your duty to live it as fully as possible. No, stay. Tell me something good.
When I was little, my favourite outfit was my bumblebee tights.
Bumblebee tights.
Black and yellow stripes.
Bumblebee
Oh,
tights.
God.
Didn't you ever love anything that much?
Yes.
It's really funny looking at each other while doing
Tell me
it.
you shaved off my eyebrows.
Either one.
Gosh.
Can I take you somewhere?
This was a good Punisher
going on a
movie.
date with Will Traynor.
I'm watching just the trailer.
Get the red
but
dress out.
Man.
I don't want to go in yet.
Oh my. Okay, first off,
I'm
it's,
gonna post it to the.
it's British. I didn't know it was British.
Yeah.
Oh, that
It's gonna be great.
for some reason that makes it worse. And then, okay, let me just. I know nothing except for what I've just heard, and I'm looking at the IMDb. But I promise, here's like what they were going through in their pitch meeting. She comes to help him because he's crippled, but in the end, he ends up helping her realize how to live. Or something like that's going to be what it's about. Like, even though he's crippled, somehow he's going to teach her more about life than she ever thought she could know. God.
Are you linking it up?
Oh yeah, I'm putting it on the Facebook right now.
Or
People need to see this trailer.
Me before you.
It's a book. I know it's a novel.
Yeah, it's best off a best-selling novel.
And
Best-selling novel.
yep. But I hope you're ready.
All right. So luckily, the only good thing is that we have 2 weeks to see this because we don't have an episode next week. We're doing a replay. So that gives me a little bit more time to emotionally prepare for me before you. But we will watch this. You know what, listeners? It would be fun if you're like about self-punishment, watch this also with us. And then during the episode next week, you can Facebook and comment what you thought. Or during the week, you can comment on Facebook with some of your opinions. Maybe we can share those as we talk about it as well. But me before you, ooh. All right, that's going to be exciting. See, but Dick, you have more experience watching really, really terrible movies than I do. So I feel like you're more prepared for this.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for me?
Don't watch any good movies before. Just watch that and just let it be what it is. No, actually, because what's funny is even my friends have told me now, like when I watch apparently a really good movie, I still go stupid. Like it's weird because to me, if a movie bases itself as a stupid movie, I accept it more.
Okay.
Because the flaws are good. But with normal movies or like Academy Award movies that just piss me off, I'm like, it's stupid.
Okay, so it's almost like you can give a stupid movie its due because you know it's a stupid movie.
Yeah.
But a good movie takes itself maybe too seriously.
Well, certain things. I can probably name some movies in the next segment that were Academy Award winning movies, and it's like that movie's just stupid.
All right. Well, I'll look forward to maybe hearing a couple of those. All right. Well, what we're gonna do now is
I know you are. You're like really excited about it.
Can't even wait. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna play a little Would You Rather. All right. So I came up with 5 different Would You Rather scenarios. Jake, the intern, if you want to hop in here, you can as well. You haven't seen these yet, but
No, I haven't.
But you can offer some opinions. So we're just gonna look at different female movie characters. Some good. So some it's choosing the better of 2 good options. some it's choosing the best of two terrible options. And it's who would you rather go on a date with, or who would you rather date? You know,
Like consistently date or one date?
No, we got to simplify it. Let's just do a date. Go on a date with.
One date, first date.
Yeah, first date.
Dinner.
Whatever.
Dinner
So a friend set you up.
Yeah.
They told you a little bit about it. There you go.
All right. So the first would you rather? Would you rather go on a date with Megan Fox's character Michaela Barnes in Transformers 1, or
I like how no one probably knew the character's name.
Zero people would have. I didn't know.
Michaela Barnes.
I was like, wait, is that actually her name? And then, so Michaela Barnes, Megan Fox from Transformers 1, the character, not just Megan Fox, or Jessica Alba as Nancy Callahan in Sin City.
And we have previous knowledge of them, correct?
We know about
we've seen the movie in a sense. Like we know who they have.
Yeah, so we're assuming that we know who they are from their character.
So it's not like a blind date.
Not a blind date.
Okay.
No. Yeah, you Facebook stalked them to perfection,
Yeah.
so you know kind of what to expect when you're going here. So we got Megan Fox, Michaela Barnes, Transformers, Nancy Callahan, Sin City, both objectively attractive. Okay, so that's not what we're dealing with, you know, and not that matters anyways, right, guys? We don't care about that stuff.
No, we're not shallow.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're in the world of personality here, based on their movies. What do you think, Dick? What do you got?
Well, I'm kind of concerned with Jessica Alba's character because didn't she like the old guy, Bruce Willis? Wasn't that her thing?
She ended up in love with Bruce Willis.
Dick, age is just a number. It doesn't matter. All right.
Can I have both? Can I go on a date with both?
No, the whole game is picking one or the other.
Well, I'm going to go Jessica Alba because Megan Fox's character is kind of a B in the first one. So
she kind of treats Shia a little bit rough. Yeah, that's true. Well, here's the deal. As much as I hate to say it, if we're going on characters, then I think I would go Michaela from Transformers.
Really?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Nancy Callahan is a stripper in the worst city that I've ever watched on film since it. Like,
well, you don't want to be the protector?
No, imagine the baggage, dude. Like that stuff would be coming out early first date. I feel like you'd be like, "Hey, how was your day?" And she'd just like break down into.
Well, maybe I just don't want to pay the cover fee.
Yeah. It's all about who you know.
Yeah.
Michaela's good looking. She can fix cars. So if you have any car trouble, you know, she'll be like, "Oh, the header here on the."
So she's wearing the pants on the date.
You know, I'm cool with that.
Her fingernails are dirty with grease and grime.
Little grease under the nails. Well, I just feel like, I don't know. For me, it was like the baggage that Nancy would be bringing to the date was too much for me to want to handle. Plus, Michaela was down with Shia LaBeouf when he was goofy, and so I feel like that gives me a pretty good shot.
You got a better chance?
Yeah, like I'm looking pretty good compared to goofy Shia LaBeouf. This was before he got all like artsy hipster, you know, and so I just feel like she would, you know, coming off a relationship with Shia, I feel like I would look like a pretty good catch. So, I don't know. Jake, what do you think?
Beal, all the way. She's my dream girl.
Yeah, we care more about looks than actual substance.
Yeah, there you go. It's all
me
about
before you, bro.
Yeah, come on, guys. It's the heart. All right. So second one, Kate Beckinsale as Celine in Underworld. Okay, we all like her. Or Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft in Tomb Raider.
Oh, Kate Beckinsale. She'll bite me. I live forever.
So this is all about
me
like
before you, bro.
Okay, so this is all about you just getting eternal life as a vampire.
That'd be a plus. I think you get to hang out with Kate Beckinsale's character, Celine, all your life, and like just watch her kill people.
Yeah, she's bad, dude.
Because I totally would not participate in her daily lichen killings. I'd just be like, yeah, good luck, honey.
Yeah.
I want to go live forever. I want to go do this with someone else. I got all the time in the world to play StarCraft.
Plus, I feel like vampires always have like cool houses and stuff. Like, you know, like it seems like they always have like money somehow in all the movies they live in.
I have a feeling if you live forever, you're eventually going to get lucky.
Yeah, because I guess if you're working like even minimum wage at a forever long pace, like you'll
and
eventually
you keep investing in it.
Yeah, you just keep rolling that stuff over into IRAs. I would also go Celine. Here's the deal: Lara Croft. She seemed kind of like an annoying know-it-all. Like she would be like trying to fix all your stuff. I know that I was saying Michaela could fix the car, but Lara Croft just seems like she would be like correcting you all the time.
Well, what's funny is somebody I was reading a review of the first one and basically saying like if Lara Croft was 60 years old, she'd be the worst movie character because she couldn't do what she does best, is move around, do all that cool Indiana Jones stuff, and then she's just gonna be an annoying person.
Good word choice. Yeah, annoying person. Yeah, I feel like she would be correcting you all the time, and you'd go to a building and she'd be like, this is actually the ancient ruin. You'd be like, okay, shut up. Like, seriously, I don't care. Let's just get pizza or whatever.
If I'm doing just a date, I'm going Lara Croft. Okay. I gotta go.
How come? You just want to hear all her stories of Egypt and
Yeah,
stuff?
she seems way more interesting.
Are you serious? We're talking about a vampire that's lived for 100+ years.
I understand, but I don't like the vampires.
And she's a vampire.
I don't like vampires.
We had to meet at night too, so it'd be a cool date.
But they're gonna suck my blood.
Constant threat of being eaten. You don't like that? You don't live your life to the fullest?
No.
Gosh, you're so shallow. You're so
So
shallow,
I feel like I need to quote the trailer from Me Before You. You gotta live a life worth living.
That is an instant classic one-liner,
I'm telling
by the way.
you, the whole movie. A bumblebee pants.
Oh, gosh.
You ready?
I'm not ready. All right, so we got 2 votes for Kate Beckinsale. Intern Jake, proving why he's the intern. He's going Lara Croft here. But okay, so moving on. Now we're going to get into ones that are a little bit, I'm saying, like, you're kind of choosing the lesser of two evils here. The first one, would you rather go on a date with Katherine Heigl as Jane in 27 Dresses? I don't know if y'all seen that movie. Unfortunately, I have.
She's probably a B, so not choosing her.
Or Anne Hathaway as Fantine in Les Mis.
See, I feel bad because I don't know who the character Fantine. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that. Let me look her up. Is she the one that gives birth? And she...
Yeah, she has a kid, and then she shaves her head, and then she, spoiler alert, dies.
Well...
I'm definitely. I'll hop in here.
Go ahead.
Can you imagine the conversations with these two?
I'm gonna go Jane from 27 Dresses. I
Have
feel
more
like
in
she
common.
would. Yeah, I feel like she would complain probably less. So I think.
Okay, let's be real. Fantine has a reason to complain.
Well, and I'm not
that's what
saying. I'm not
like,
saying she
when I be
doesn't
hanging
have
out with
reason.
her, I'm like, we get it. Life sucks. Why do I keep bringing myself?
But that's why I don't want to go on a date with her.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be reminded.
I don't
that
think
life
anyone
sucks.
really wants to go on a date with her.
Well, I know, but between these two options, that's where I'm going.
Yeah,
That's a horrible. That's a horrible lineup right there.
It's good though, right? You kind of like how it's.
Well, I feel like I've gone on a date with a woman like Jane, and I haven't even seen 27 Dresses, so I understand that. But like knowing these characters,
Just knowing these girls and what they probably are playing as. But at least my thing is, at least with Fantine, like we don't like. Maybe there's something that like just being from a different age, you know. Like Jane is a girl in the modern era, and like you said, like I know what that's probably like. Fantine, like maybe it's not as bad. Maybe like there's some chivalry thing where like she kind of doesn't want to upset the guy or something.
because we really have to look at this as a conversation, not like where it is, when it is. Like what's the conversation like with these people? And I feel like either or I want to get immediately out of this date.
This will be the worst date of your
So
life.
this would be me shimmying out the bathroom door date, and
then, but see the thing about, I feel like Jane, there's an opportunity that she would like find you, you know, like
She'd hunt you down.
she would use her social media prowess to find you and make you pay. I don't know. That's a double terrible choice. I think I would have to probably go Fantine. I don't. You're going. What'd you say?
That's great.
It's
No,
terrible. I
I'm
hate it,
not.
but I hate Anne Hathaway. That's. Are you picking anybody? Are you deferring?
There's no deferring. You have to pick.
I see. This the problem is like I know going into both because like Fantine's got baggage.
Oh, major baggage.
So and so does Jane. So it's just like it's a lose for me. And if someone goes, you got to pick one, I would probably go with Jane because I know how to tune those kind of girls out.
You've got some experience with that.
So, but Fantine, I would just be so sad, and like when I leave the date, I'd be depressed.
Plus, does she have to sing the whole time, or can she talk normal? Cause
No, she has to
probably
sing
gonna bring
the
her
whole
kid.
time.
She's probably gonna bring her kid. She's like, just to let you know.
Did you see Les Mis, the new one?
No.
They don't talk. They only sing. They sing
Is that
their Les Mis.
It's a play. I know
It's a
that.
play, yeah. But it's normally a musical where they talk and then sing. But in this version, they sing every line of dialogue, so everything is sung or sang. And so
I really doubt a lot of people who went to go see it never seen it before. I doubt it.
that's probably true. But I didn't think about her singing our entire conversation.
No, she's probably going the entire time.
All right, I'm flopping. I'm on Jane now. I can't do that. If she's singing, I'll have the breadsticks with my
but then
chicken
she's gonna be singing her miseries and then asking for another glass of wine. You know.
Oh man, that would be so awful. And then everybody's staring at you, and she's got her head all like shaved in a bad way because she didn't have a real like buzz cut thing. And then I feel like that would affect your cred. Okay, we gotta move on.
We're out of time.
All right, next up, Rosie O'Donnell as Old Golly and Harriet the Spy. You remember Harriet the Spy? That's a movie from childhood. Oh gosh. Okay, maybe I went a little too obscure here. Or Whoopi Goldberg as Oda Mae Brown in Ghost. You remember
Oh,
Ghost?
Whoopi.
Patrick
Whoopi.
Swayze. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that Whoopi.
Yeah, she was kind of like the wise one in Ghost with Patrick Swayze. Rosie O'Donnell, Harriet the Spy was a kid's movie. Harriet was a little girl, and Whoopi was kind of like her, like Peter Pan to the
Whoopi.
Lost Boys. Rosie O'Donnell was.
Yeah.
She was like the one who kind of taught Harriet how to spy and was kind of her friend and stuff. So, two of them, Rosie O'Donnell, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm not much.
You can't really. I don't know these characters that well. I know
Okay.
Whoopi's character, but
I know Whoopi's character, so I'm just gonna go with her. I've never even heard of Rosie's.
Plus, isn't she a medium or whatever?
She kind of channels. Yeah, she kind of. There's that scene
Yeah.
where they're like molding the clay.
So that'd
or
be
whatever.
interesting. An interesting.
See, I went Whoopi
Conversation.
just for the past life opportunities that there could be there. You know, you could be finding out stuff from the other world. Rosie O'Donnell's kind of terrible. That movie's maybe too obscure. I just wanted to put Rosie in there, and that was the only role that I could think of her from. Okay, then the last one. This is kind of an out-of-the-box pick. Tyler Perry as Medea in Medea Goes to Jail, or Robin Williams as Miss Doubtfire in Mrs. Doubtfire. What do you think, Jake?
I don't know. I would have to go Robin Williams because his humor, his comedy is more aligned with mine than Tyler Perry. But as far as like looks go,
Who's hotter?
I think.
Oh, let's not even touch that
I
question.
think.
Let's not touch that. We don't want to answer that question because that means we have to answer it. Just choose somebody. Who would you pick?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. How about you?
I think he pulled off the female look better.
Yeah, I'm going definitely Doubtfire. Good homemaker, loves kids, softer spoken.
I think Medea would be perfect to bring home.
Oh,
Like, Mom, I've been
Dude.
seeing somebody, but she's like 40 years on me.
she's 6'6".
She's perfect.
Medea,
that's great.
Plus, Medea's been to prison. Miss Doubtfire hasn't. If you dump Medea, she's all about like
Miss
busting
Doubtfire's
a cap.
probably going to prison.
Well, if you dump Medea, she's probably gonna murder you because she's all about busting a cap and everything like
Yeah.
that. I just feel like Miss Doubtfire, she's got that sweet British charm that might be a little bit better to be around. I don't know. All right, so there you go. If you want to comment on the Facebook page with your picks, we'd love to hear from some of you guys about what you
golly.
think. Also, if you want to tell us who you think's hotter, Medea or
No,
Miss Doubtfire, please.
All right,
Man.
we got to do Summer Blockbusters. We got like 4 minutes.
All right. Okay, Summer Blockbusters. Here we go. Heavyweight. Guardians versus Pirates Baywatch. Guardians, remember, 146.5 million.
Yeah.
Pirates came out. That was the big winner this weekend. 78.4 million. Still not enough, but that's a pretty good opening. That's more than I thought it would probably do.
That's
But,
about where I thought it would be at.
yeah.
That's where I thought.
I just figured this far into the series, I didn't think they could still.
I think I said it was going to make 150 total. Remember that from our last episode?
Well, worldwide, it's done huge. If you're considering worldwide, it's
no,
made-
we only do domestic.
I'm just, but okay, but the look worldwide.
only do domestic.
But if we're looking worldwide, it's gone.
I'm
like,
going to win that. No.
It's gone like 300 million worldwide.
I don't doubt it.
But I bet
they,
you're probably
they have
right.
an international cast, don't they?
They
There's
usually have
Javier
some-
Bardem,
Yeah.
and then
Not as much as like the
Fast
Fast series.
Fate 8.
Yeah.
Pay date. And then Baywatch, sad. You were right with that one because the rated R and everything, it made 23.1 million, so it didn't even scratch the surface there. Next week, coming up, Wonder Woman. So I know a lot of people are pushing behind that. It's a strong female lead. It's kind of a, there's
It's got
not
great reviews, too, so.
I'm excited. I think it'll be good. It's got Chris Pine as kind of the supporting, but there's not a lot of, big budget action movies that have a female at the lead of it. And so I think people are excited for that because it maybe shows some progress of some kind from the film industry. So we'll see if that can make some money. That'll be an ultimate test. Are people going to show up and actually go see it? And the lightweight, Snatch with Amy Schumer, 19.5 million holding the belt. But it didn't really have anything from last week. But this week, there's a Captain Underpants movie coming out. I don't know anything about that. Haven't seen any of them.
Did y'all read the books when you were kids?
No,
No.
never did.
I did.
Read?
I did.
Yeah.
So you're definitely in line?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm definitely in line like opening like Thursday night, like tonight, but I'll be there.
Were the books good?
You actually going to
Yeah.
the theater to see it?
Yeah, I'll actually go to the theater and see it. I mean, the books are good for kids' purposes. It's like a third graders read, third, fourth, and fifth. So
right on Jake's level.
right on my level.
Perfect.
I read one a year.
One Underpants.
Did you read Me Before You?
No.
Okay.
That would be
Wait
the
for it.
ultimate punishment. Like, make someone read the book Me Before You. Not even go to the... That's like a 12-hour investment. Anyways, so we'll see if Captain Underpants can do anything. Things to keep in mind for next week. We won't be having a new show next week. We'll be playing a replay on air live. And then the podcast, we just won't have anything available. But June 15th, we will be back.
Yeah, we're going to do our giveaway, so make sure to subscribe on Facebook. We're gonna announce the game, and then on the episode on the 15th, live, we'll do
The reveal.
the reveal of what it is. So,
Yeah. So what's in my queue? I'm going to try to catch Wonder Woman. I'm going to try and see The Drop before the 15th. And Me Before You, baby.
Me Before You is pretty much the only show I have on my queue right now.
All right. Well, you got a couple more that you could bring out from that we didn't get to today.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And I've got one more. I watched a Hassan Minaj comedy special. I'd like to talk about it a little bit.
I guess it's longer than an hour. All right, you're breaking the rules.
I'm breaking them, baby.
Breaking. But just to remind folks, as we go out of today's episode, if you're just now tuning in, this is the Ticket Stub. We're here every Thursday live on Lone Star Community Radio, and then we have a podcast on Google and also iTunes, and we're on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe to those platforms and join us on Facebook for the conversation. I look forward to seeing you guys June 15th. You, Connor, be safe. And again, we won't be here next week live on the radio. It'll be a replay. So, Connor,
Dick,
good luck seeing that movie.
All right. You too, brother.
I'm going to get some Bumblebee sweatpants. Is that what it was?
Shoes?
Pants? We'll figure it out.
I don't know.
Amazon's got to have
It's probably going to have a lot of meaning to the whole movie, so I'm really excited about it.
Oh, yeah. All right, Dick.
I'll see you guys. See you, Stubbies.
Later, bud.
Thanks for listening to The Ticket Stub. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at The Ticket Stub Podcast, our YouTube channel, The Ticket Stub, or send us listener email to theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com. We also have all of our podcasts available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. If you're in the Conroe area, be sure to tune in live every Thursday at 104.5 and 106.1 FM to hear it as it happens and interact live with the show. See you next time. Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.